da 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 da. Let's see if it's coming through on the old PC. Hello, people in the future. Welcome to part 3 of the TDM stream. Not quite sure I'm coming through yet on my PC. That looks like me. I'm coming through yet on my PC. And it sounds like me as well. Yes, hooray! Right, took me a while to come back. I apologise for that. But let us just crack on with Tarkir Dragonstorm. Couldn't even remember the name of the set there. Now, first order of business is, it has been pointed out to me by my man Zibver, because he loves being right about things. Shout out to Zibber. That I have misevaluated something. It might even have been in part 1, not part 2. But I'll go and find the card now. I think it's called Diviner's something or other. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. I did put this in the background when I started streaming, so I wouldn't have to load this. But you know what Magic Puzzle Quest is like. Let's head off to the cards. This is good, isn't it? This is good as a brief interlude to give people just a little chance to join in the stream. So maybe I should just post something quick on the Discord, like so. Who's atted me? Yes! Yeah, just somebody asking if it's time to stream. Right. Let's set up Tarkir Dragonstorm. Now, it was... Start with a D. Diviner of Mist. This was the card. Right. Now, I don't fully remember what I said about it first time round, but I remember dismissing it as a mana filler giver with too many restrictions on the card that it gets back. Yeah, normally a mana filler giver will give you a free card every turn. This will only give you a spell. It will only give it you mana value 12 or less. Yeah, and then I probably said that Webcore probably thought that making it cost 12 made up for that. Where it doesn't really. Now, all these things are true, but that's not strictly really what this card does. Okay? When this creature attacks, destroy the top 6 cards of your library, then return the first spell card with a mana value 12 or less from your graveyard to your hand. That card gains full mana. Do you see it now? Now, you know, it is dumping cards into the graveyard. It's not like you need to put something in the graveyard first. What this has the potential of doing, though, is casting the same card over and over and over again. Yeah, especially if you only have one spell that costs mana value at 12 or less, which is quite likely at the moment. If you all aren't playing with Mystical Teachings yet, you should go and get that. I'm certainly playing a lot of standard decks. When I say a lot of standard decks, I mean one standard deck a lot, with one Mystical Teachings and 2 other spells that cost a lot more than 12 mana. And this card will allow me to cast Mystical Teachings every turn. And we've done this kind of thing in the past. Some people may remember when ATV was in Standard, A Timeless Voyage. A strategy people liked there was, and I played this, I think at least once, was to get Velomachus Lorehold and get him to just repeatedly cast, what was it called? Revel in Silence, which give you kind of a partial lockdown effect. I think Revel in Silence stopped Greg casting spells and supports, did it? Something like that. Oh, dry throat. Give me just a second. I'm just going to go and I'm going to leave my tablet here so I don't get cut off from the internet. I just need to fill up this glass of water and I'll be back. What was I saying? I was saying, yes, Velomachus Lawhold let you cast Revel in Silence every turn. This would do the same thing. Let you cast Revel in Silence every turn. So it's a thing, it's not strictly a mana filler giver. It's a thing that lets you cast the same thing over and over and over and over again. That's what functionally it does. Do we care is the thing. It is a bit slow. It is a turn slower than mana filler givers like Dragonhawk and Loot. Yeah, because you've got to play it. It's not got Summoning Sickness. It attacks next turn. At the end of the turn, you get a spell. At the end of the turn, after that, you can play for the spell. It is a bit slow, and that slowness, I feel, is probably going to kill it for me. I don't think I'm going to be playing this one. But I thought it was worth mentioning because, honestly, we've hardly seen bugger all good cards in this set. And this might be one of the best ones. I think there may be a couple coming up. Iterative, whatever the hell it was, that did the mana conversion thing. KI. What? JKL. HI. I've just completely forgotten how the alphabet works, is what it is. Oh, I thought it was called iterative something or other. What's it called? Expressive iteration, right? It's not called that at all. That was okay. So we're seeing some mid cards, which is not seeing any cards that really excite us in standard. With all of that, and we got two. I checked this earlier because it's been a week, so I can't remember. We got two. I'll see it when I remember it when I see it. Marshal of the Lost is where we got to last time. So let's crack on. Meticulous Artisan. 11 mana 3/3, Colours of Magic. When this creature enters the battlefield, create a gold token. Prowess, this creature gets +1/+1. Yeah, not interesting for Colours of Magic, is it? Here we go with one of those lands. Activate 2 red or green, create an elephant token. Well, they have the decency to stay in play. There was one of these that did the mobilize mechanic, wasn't there? Well, it didn't do the mobilize mechanic, but it did create those mobilize tokens that die. So it's one of those lands. Here is the Monastery Mentor. We mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? In part 1 or part 2. This is an absolute beatstick in Paper Magic. Let's see what we've got here. 9 mana 2/2. Prowess, this creature gets +3/+3. Then create a Jeskai Monk token. This creature gets +X/+X until end of turn. X is equal to this creature's reinforcements. Honestly, it looks quite a lot like it does in paper. So you're probably thinking, what the hell are you talking about? It's an absolute beatstick in paper. You just have to trust me on that, really. But I mean, really, the thing that drives it in paper is the absolutely broken stuff that you can do with Moxes and Black Lotuses in Vintage. We don't necessarily have those things here. So as a creature that is just going to have a power and toughness bump, it doesn't seem likely that it's going to excite anybody, you know, in this format. You know, if you're playing some combo-y type deck that might cast loads and loads of spells, and are they non-creature cards, Prowess? Yeah, non-creature cards. You almost certainly want to be playing with something that isn't Monastery Mentor in that deck. So I don't think it's going to be any good. When this creature enters a battlefield, fetch the first non-creature card from your exile. Move that card to the top of your library. I mean, that's nothing, isn't it? that's a card that does nothing. Octagon would have done it in more words, though. Mox Jasper. I've got this one. At the beginning of your turn, convert 2 gems to the most present colour on the board. If you control a dragon creature, convert 6 gems to the most present colour on the board. Yeah. It's too weak, isn't it? For 2 gems. I like what they're doing. I like the fact that it is a conversion land. Actually, Steve, it's not a land, is it? It's an artifact. I like the fact that it's a conversion land that costs 7. Yeah. The fact that it gets bigger, that's quite a nice thing, isn't it? You know, it starts off converting a certain number of gems, but if you do a thing, it converts a lot more gems. 6 gems is quite a lot to convert, isn't it? But I fear that, yeah, just 2 gems to start with is not enough power. I mean, certainly not when you put it up alongside something like the Clue Lands, you know. So, nope. Mystic Monastery, yeah, we've seen those. Convert 2 gems to white, blue, or red. Pretty bad. Narset, Jeskai Waymaster. Oh, it's sad, isn't it? It's sad to see all these planeswalkers busted down to being just merely legends now. At the end of your turn, you may discard your hand and draw X cards. X is the number of spell cards in your exile. Right, they don't get mana, do they? I mean, it's a good way of discarding your hand and filling it up every turn. It seems like it's going to fill up your hand full of 6 cards every turn. It's just they don't get any mana, do they? So, sorry. Narset's Rebuke, deal 5 damage to target creature for 15 mana. Till end of turn, if that creature dies exile it, gain 7 mana. Yeah, that's not enough, is it? Yeah, for 15 mana, gain 7 mana. That would be like a burn spell that cost 8 mana, which isn't good enough. And it's worse than that because you've got to put the 15 mana up front. It's bad. Nature's Rhythm. Let's have something good. Come on, let's have a good thing. Let's kick off in style. Fetch the first creature card from your library. If that card has power 4 or more, that card gains 15 mana. Reinforce each creature you control. Okay, so, you know, we're thinking about this as a Loop Hero card to start off with. You know, Insta-Loop-tastic card. It's not going to go in that deck, is it? Because Phenomenon Investigators doesn't have power 4 or more. And if you put 15 mana into a Bright Glass Gear Hulk, it's not going to cast, is it? Oh, now won't Capricious Hellraiser? I'm actually going to look for that. Capricious Hellraiser. I bet it costs 16. Yeah, it costs 16, so that's no good either. So, as a loopy piece... Oh dear, I pressed the clear filters button. That was a mistake, wasn't it? As a loopy piece, it's not going to cut it, is it? So what about as a card in its own right? We're fetching the first creature card from your library. If it's got power 4 more, that card gains 15 mana. Reinforce each creature you control. And it's got Mobilize. Mobilize 5, is that a lot? Oh, sorry, Harmonize, not Mobilize. Obviously going to get those mixed up a lot. Harmonize 5 seems like a lot. Don't know. Really, it depends on how many creatures with power. I mean, you want to be able to cast them, don't you? To make this card sing, you want to be able to cast them. So it depends on what card with power 4 or more costs 15, and it's worth dragging out with this. So Ocelot Pride. No, that hasn't got that hasn't got 4 power. I don't know. This one's worth looking at. I can't immediately off the top of my head think of a use for it, but it seems like it would slot into a deck, doesn't it? Seems like it would slot into a deck. So yeah, I'll be keeping an eye out for Nature's Rhythm, but like I say, The most broken things that the game's doing at the moment, I can't imagine. I can't think of a creature it's going to work with, but yeah. Yeah, it looks all right. It looks all right, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Nariv, Heart of the Storm. This card cannot currently be obtained from card. This card cannot be contained in card packs. It's too awesome. Railway Brawler, says the Hunter in the chat. Yeah, that costs 15, doesn't it? Okay, now we're talking. Yeah, that's a target for this card, isn't it? See, I thought there would be one. I'm definitely not going to say this is a bad card. And, you know, if somebody breaks it, I'm not going to be that surprised. Yeah. Let's head back to Nariv. When a non-token creature, you're paying money for this, remember, when a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature has 5 or more power, deal 5 damage to your opponent's planeswalker and destroy 3 random gems. Okay, well that's bad. Otherwise, deal 2 damage to a random opponent target. When a non-token creature enters the battlefield under control, it creature's power for 5 damage. High shit tier. Moving on. New way forward. When you are dealt damage, this is a 15 mana support, which is expensive, with some crazy ass old school art. That's very kind of old school Richard Kane Ferguson type art, isn't it? I wonder who drew that. I think he turned out to be a Nazi, so I don't think they get Richard Kane Ferguson to draw art on MTG cards anymore. Is he a Nazi? I can't remember. Wasn't it him who drew Invoke Prejudice? Anyway, moving on. When you are dealt damage, deal that much damage to your opponent's planeswalker. End of turn, destroy the support. Right. Interesting. I mean, it kind of... like, if your opponent's going to kill you, he is going to kill you. This isn't going to stop him killing you. It's just... when a bunch of damage gets done to you, you do it back to him. Interesting, but like, what's the use case on it, you know? Like, you don't have a choice which turn you use. You've got to put it into play and just kind of see. What are you going to do? Let Greg build up a whole lineup of Galters and Rakdoses. Well, not Rakdoses, because Rakdos is going to blow it up. You're going to let him build up a line of Rakdos, and then you go, oh, okay, it's big enough now. He's got 3 Galters in play. Now I'm going to put the new way forward down, and it'll hit him back for damage. I don't see it. I don't see the use case of this card. It is interesting, though. It follows the general format, though, of the design in this set, where it's bad. It makes bad cards, but I think it's interesting. What have we got? Night Blade Brigade. Try saying that after a few points. I mean, what? I mean, maybe if the Mobilize token had Death Touch. No, the Mobilize token would need Death Touch and Berserker, wouldn't it? So, nope. Nomad Outpost. Yeah, it's another one of those lands. Opulent Palace. It's another one of those lands. Osseous Exhale. Deal 5 damage to target opposing creature. This is a white card. This is a white burn spell. I mean, I suppose I've seen white burn spells in the past. I'm thinking of Sunlance, but I think Sunlance was like a time-shifted card in paper. So we might have white burn spells. I mean, I've got a support that I play. There's a case card at the moment in MTGPQ that I play that deals damage to target creature. It's a terrible, terrible card, but I actually play it in a coalition event. Can't remember which one, just because of the objectives. Do you know what I mean? It just happens to slot into my deck with 9 other completely broken cards, and I figure I can carry 1 completely rubbish card. Anyway, all that is an aside to say that however unusual this card is, it sucks. Overwhelming Surge. Deal 3 damage to the first opposing. Sorry! Sorry, is the white card a better burn spell than the red card? It kind of is, isn't it? I mean, yeah, okay, we've got this extra random opposing artifact rider on the end. But yeah, the white card appears to be a better burn spell than the red card. That's just not right, is it? Perenation. Return the creature with the most reinforcements from your graveyard to the battlefield with its reinforcements. That creature gains hexproof. That creature gains shield counter 1. Oh, I guess. Yeah, I guess. It doesn't have haste. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Why not? You all know what good creatures look like, Galter and Rakdos and things like that. You'd all like a stack of those, yeah? And also give them hexproof and shield counter 1. I mean, the problem with hexproof and shield counter 1, they think they've covered everything there, but they haven't actually, have they? Because Deem Inferior still deals with it, you know? And presumably there's a card that will exile the first. Yeah, I think Molten Collapse will deal with it, to be honest. That exiles. Doesn't that exile a card? Or did it used to exile a card? Maybe I'm mistaken there. I think it yeah, I think it was bugged for a while, and that's why we used to use it in the Greatest Heist. But maybe it doesn't exile. The point about exiling is you have to exile without targeting. So it can't be exile target creature. It's got to be exile the first creature. Not sure if there are many of those. So even with hexproof and shield counter 1, they haven't managed to cover all the bases. But it's not terrible, certainly. Yeah, and hexproof won't be able to get around Dakon's second ability. Dakon's second ability is nice for getting around ward, you know, because you can fire it at a creature before the ward triggers and turns into hexproof. But no, this just gets hexproof. I mean, this is okay, isn't it? Does Grist need it? That's a question. You'd think not, but I don't know. Maybe people would just like it. Maybe it is an effective way of putting like multiple copies into play. You know, you've got to. It's such a trial playing with Grist, hasn't it? You've got to wait till you get 6 whole loyalty before you put 1 Gelter into play. It's so hard. So hard being a Grist player, isn't it? You've got to get 6 more loyalty to get another Gelter into play. Whereas, you know, technically speaking, with this, you can just play Gather the Pack. You know, there's a graveyard full of whatever I want to put into there. Probably the same single creature, and yes, probably a Gelter. And then you cast that and they all come back out again. It's all right. It's all right. It's not for me, but it's all right. Piercing. I'm worried that I'm being deliberately nice to cards because I was worried in part 1 and part 2 that the set was absolutely full of shit. So I wonder if I'm unconsciously overrating cards now, and whether the Steve in the Prime universe would have looked at this and gone, what a piece of shit, let's move on. Piercing Exhale. Deal X damage to the first opponent. Oh, we're getting a green burn spell now, are we? X damage to the first opposing creature. Green does do this, though, because, yeah, it's like a fight type effect, isn't it? X is the power of your first creature. If then... Not if you do. No, this one is a then, apparently, because we're still doing then as well as if you do. Ellie Minaya, I've never heard of that artist. That is apparently the Hunter just checked this for me. Thank you. In the chat, Ellie Minaya is the artist who did Parination and Get Lost. I've not heard of them. Like I say, it looks like really old school art. Like in the early days of Magic art was really varied and quite, you know, a few bits of it there and then and there weren't especially representational. And then all of a sudden it got very representational and hyper realistic for years and years. So it's nice to see some, you know, some kind of more abstract art going on. We don't need to say anything about that, do we? No. Poise practice, I don't think we need to say anything about this either. 7, 2, 3, discard a card, draw a card. Yep. Purging Stormbrood. Oh, this is the thing that Greg was giving my creatures lifelink and hexproof with in the new event today. Did you all play the Dragonstorm event? Yeah? Did you all manage to win in 5 turns and attack 5 times in the same game? I did, but that's because I was playing the broken loopy deck. Anyway, what have we got here? Ward, lose 8 life. When this creature enters the battlefield, remove all buffs from the first opposing buffed creature. I mean, that's so much worse than just killing it for 12 mana. And then here we've got, for 7, lifelink and hexproof until the beginning of your next turn. Here we go. Oh, Steve redesigns the card for you. I should get like a little jingle for that, yeah? So this side of the card kills something when it comes into play. Or it's just some kind of creature. Because on the other side of some kind of creature that's not shit, this will be okay, you know, with like give a creature lifelink and hexproof. Don't worry about that, you know, beginning in your next turn thing. Permanently giving something both lifelink and hexproof. That would be a spell, wouldn't it? A bit expensive at 7 mana, but I'd have that. It's the flash thing again, isn't it? Yeah, so there you go. I've redesigned your card for you. It's better now. Carsey Revenant. What is that? Oh, it's a vampire. Doesn't look much like a vampire. This is Restore when this card... Oh, that's the Aftermath ability. Yeah, I remember that now. So when it goes to the graveyard, you get 3 activated gems and you can do a thing. So this is an 8 mana 3/3 with lifelink. Uninteresting. And Restore 3, your first creature gains flying, lifelink, and death touch. What do we think? Mid-shit tier? Let's put it in mid-shit tier. Rain Veil Rejuvenator. Activate 2 green. Gain X mana. 13. Okay, slow, innit? 13, we're activating, so that's not going to happen until next turn. And it's probably not going to happen at all with just the 2. Gain X mana. X is this creature's power times 2. When this creature enters the battlefield, destroy the top 3 cards of your library. Right, I don't understand the point of that thing. Yeah, there's a place for creatures that gain mana. Especially because, you know, Grist and Desert are doing such a good job buggering up lands at the moment. But that ain't it, Chief. Is that really all that? I'm looking around the edge, like looking around the edges of the card to see if there's some kind of hidden button that you can press, and there's a trapdoor behind it, and it puts like 3/8/8 tokens into play or something. Because come on, are you joking me? Is that all that card does for 10 mana? My dreams of SNC Part 2 have been shattered. Rally the Monastery. 20 mana. This better be good. Create 2 Jeskai Monk tokens. I don't think it is going to be good. Those creatures get +2/+2. Okay, so we're creating a 4/4 creature. Ooh! We're getting a 4/4 creature, and then we're destroying target opposing creature with power 4 or greater, all for the low cost of 20 mana. Fuck off. Rebellious Strike. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn, draw a card. Yeah, make it cost 2 mana. Yeah? If you make it cost 2 mana, that would look, you know, something like a card that we might have seen in maybe 2017. I feel like we got that kind of card in 2017, didn't we? It's a little more powerful at 2 mana than we would have seen in Origins. Yeah, and they did kind of power creep this kind of effect. It would have been, for 2 mana, it would have been the kind of thing, yeah, that 2017 Steve, or maybe 2018 Steve, depending on when it came out, might have played it with Harness the Storm. That's what I'm thinking. Rediscover the Way. What do we got here? We've got a Saga. Excuse me. Pick 2 of the first 4 cards in your library. Fetch those cards, put the other on the bottom of your library, then gain 12 mana for 15 mana. Bit expensive for 15 mana, isn't it? You know? I'm going to be very boring and compare it to Overlord of the Flood Pits, but why would you not? I mean, that's a decent kind of ability. It's just, you know, we live in a stun. Again, show this to Steve in 2017. He would have loved this card. Yeah? But we don't live in that world anymore. We live in a severely power-crept world. And now the little voice at the back of my head at the moment is saying to me, now look, if this truly is the end of power creep, if this genuine, and I'm not convinced about this, they could easily reverse course at any moment. The next set could have another Mystical Teachings in it for 3 mana. But if this really is the end of power creep, says the little voice to me, shouldn't you, Steve, be considering what these cards are going to be like in 3 years' time? And my answer to that is no. No, I'm not going to consider that. I mean, yes, we will need to reevaluate all of those cards in 3 years' time. If that's what's happening, if this is the end of power creep and all of the next 3 years worth of sets are all going to be about this powerful, maybe this is one of the best cards then. And we're all going to have to reevaluate things then. But there's no point doing it now because, like I say, they might just flip-flop with the next set and go, oh shit, we didn't sell any of this set. That's what I'm expecting. Let's have some Dragonhawks and some Mystical Teachings and things. Anyway, go on, let's have a look at what the 3rd chapter of the saga says. Creatures you control gain double strike. Yeah, I would have loved this card, frankly. Many, many years ago when it was good, but we've power crept beyond it now. Reigning Victor. Hello, Victor. When this creature enters the battlefield, target creature... Jesus Christ. I'm thinking Zulaport Cutthroat. 18 mana. This is the kind of power level I'm thinking of. Back in those days of 2017, some of the commons and uncommons they were printing were so awful. Zulaport Cutthroat was one that I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. It really stood out to me because like an 18 mana 2/2 with a triggered ability. And this is just a piece of shit, isn't it? Reputable Merchant. When this creature enters the battlefield or dies, type creature control gets +1/+1. Right. Rescue Leopard. When this creature attacks, you may discard a card. If you do, yes, thank you. If you do, draw a card. Yeah, rubbish though, isn't it? Reverberating Summons. Activate 2. You may discard your hand and draw 2 cards. It's rubbish. It's all rubbish. Everything's rubbish. Let's get on to a mythic. Lovely. 16 mana. Create 6 white spirit tokens. So we've got a 6/6 flyer there. That's a good start. You know, not good enough, but good. Creatures are going to get +3/+4. Yeah. I mean, this is starting to sound high shit tier, isn't it? Your creatures gain trample and life. Yeah, high shit tier. That's all I've got to say about that. At the beginning of combat on your turn, a random creature you control gets +1/+0 until the beginning of your next turn. Waste my time, why don't you? Create 2 soldier tokens for 12 mana. Funny, isn't it? Because normally token creators tend to be way overpowered, don't they? You know, they gave us things like, you know, Thopter Spy Network and the Vanguard Elspeth, things like that. Token generators tend to be, you know, have much better power and toughness than creatures, but this is a rubbish creature stapled to a really terrible token generator as well. Remember, you don't get both sides of it. If you cast the spell side of it, it gets shuffled back into your deck. So basically that's all you did, is spend 12 mana on 2 soldier tokens. Not good. Ringing Strike Mastery. When this support enters the board, target creature gets stun counter 1. That's not high enough, is it? At the beginning of your turn, your first creature gains hexproof until end of turn. Right. So if I play this during all of my turns, my creature has hexproof. And then in your turns, the turns that you control, the turns where you're going to shoot my creature, it doesn't have hexproof. This card can so easily be tweaked to make it better, can't it? Let's say stun counter 3, permanent hexproof. Ta-da! There you go. We talk about it then. But no. Rite of Renewal. Return the first 2 cards from your graveyard to your hand. Are they gaining mana? Are they buggery? Target player returns 4 cards at random from their graveyard to their library. Again, I don't see the point of that at all. Yeah, do you think that that ability is going to save you from Grist? Do you? Is that what you think? Go ahead and have a go. See what it does. Grist is going to, you know, use his first ability and, you know, put 3 creatures in the graveyard and one of them is going to pop back out into play. And then you're going to go, ha-ha, and get rid of those other 3 cards that are in his graveyard. Yeah? Let me know how that works out. Send us a letter. Let me know how that works out for you. Riverwalk Technique. Draining. No, we don't care. Riverwire Wheel Sweep. Target creature gains stun counter 3. For 19! For 19 mana! We've had this. We've had target creature getting stun counter 3 for what, 8? 10? It's been at least half that. We got cards that do that. You don't need to unpower creep the bad cards. You only need to unpower creep the really broken stuff that's making everybody miserable. You don't need to go to all of the bad cards that nobody plays with and make all of those less powerful as well. Pick and fetch the first 2 cards of your library. Yeah, I saw that was there. It doesn't affect how I feel about this card. Roma's Routine. Now, my man Zibver, shout out to Zibver, he actually picked this one out and flagged it up as a thing. He likes fetching lands. I do not see it myself. This one is a spell for 5 mana. Fetch a first land card from your library. It gains 3 mana. So less than the land costs. Yeah, there aren't any lands that cost 3 mana. Are there? I can't think of any. So now Zipford's point, which is a very good point, is that there are a lot of really, really broken lands around in Standard at the moment. You know, Desert, Demolition Field, Swarmyard. There's 3. But that's not good enough for me with this card, though, yeah? Going and fetching... Damn it, it's gone into the background. Going and fetching one of those lands and putting it into your hand so you can play it next turn by adding some more mana into it, that's just not exciting enough for me. You know? It seems low power. That turn that you have to wait seems low power. I would rather the 10 cards in my deck all be awesome. Or, you know, admittedly, maybe I've got 9 awesome cards in my deck and 1 rubbish card for doing objectives with. That's how I play a lot of coalition events. And this just seems rather lukewarm to me. I mean, sure, it fetches a different really awesome card in my deck. But the card itself is kind of low power. And the turn that you have to wait between fetching it and casting it is not good enough for me. Yes, it's got Harmonize. I still don't care. I have to respect Zibvert's skills as a player, you know? And it's not just that he's got this massive streak. I talked to him about, he's taught me an awful lot about playing this, what's it called deck? The Herald Loop deck, you know? You all know the Herald Loop. There's YouTube videos about it if you don't know what that is. It's a very good kind of budget legacy deck to put together. He's taught me a shitload about really subtle stuff about playing that deck. He's an amazing player, but I just don't see what he sees in this card. Who knows? Maybe I'll be proved wrong. Roar of Endless Song. Now, we've kind of liked these sagas in the past, haven't we? They've been generally high shit tier. Let's see what we've got here. Here we've got, I mean, this is already sounding high shit tier, isn't it? 2 elephant tokens. So we're going to play this for 18 mana, expensive, and get a 6/6. Next turn we get another 6/6. That's 12/12. It attacks for 12. Is that high shit tier? Well, it might be high shit. It sounds kind of low high shit tier at the moment. Depends what chapter 3 does. Double the parent toughness of each creature. Yeah, go on. This could be high shit tier. I don't know. I suspect there might be power doubling things. I suspect there might be players out there really salivating over this one. You know? I mean, I don't particularly go for Railway Brawler, but I have to respect it. It's a big-ass bastard. Yeah, I'm very inclined to put this in high shit tier. And I can't see any conversation you'd have with me where I'd put it anywhere higher than mid, to be honest. That's actual mid tier. I'd give it that. You could talk me into bumping it out of high shit tier, maybe, and putting it into mid tier, but it's not getting anywhere near the good tiers. Sorry. Roiling Dragonstorm. Aha! That's what the picture is. You know when you start the game up and there's that blue blob in the middle of the screen and you can't tell what the fuck it is? This is what it is. It's a Roiling Dragonstorm. Ah, well, today hasn't been a total washout, has it? I've learned a useful thing. Every time I see that picture from now on, I will know. When this support enters the board, discard a card, draw 2 cards. When a dragon creature enters the battlefield, return this card to your hand. Yes, rubbish, isn't it? Rock Curse Rakshasa. Oh no, I thought Rakshasas were tigers. Yeah, I've got a distinct memory of a Rakshasa in the first edition D&D Monster Manual. Yeah, and it's like a tiger wearing a smoking jacket. I thought all Rakshasas were tigers. Maybe they aren't. What's the hand thing? Decay. Has that always had that symbol? I guess it must have done. I feel like I've never seen that icon before, but like I have seen, what was it called? Tainted Adversary. I haven't played with Tainted Adversary a lot because by God it takes a long time for those fucking tokens to spawn. That's why I always used to play with the Bloodthirsty Adversary and not the Tainted. The Tainted one was 4 times as powerful, but I couldn't be fucking asked to wait for the tokens to spawn. So I played with the red one because it went pow and got big instantly. So yes, I must have seen that icon before, but it feels new to me. What else have we got? We've got Trample and Restore. When this creature attacks, opposing creatures gain imminent death. I mean, that's powerful. We're definitely at least high shit tier here, aren't we? Of 10 mana 5/5, you know, those are above average stats. Now, bear in mind that average is shit. Yeah, the average power level of an average creature is shit. So this is well above average for shit. 10 mana 5/5. And then whenever it attacks, opposing creatures gain imminent death. I mean, It's high shit tier, definitely. Restore 3. Your first creature gets +5/+5 and gains trample. Then the first opposing creature player gains decayed. It can't attack, and then you can have it gain imminent death. Yeah, I know what's going on here, right? This is obviously a high shit tier card. And I'm doing that thing I was warning you about earlier, yeah, where I was like, I want to put this in mid tier, and that way it looks like I'm being nice about the cards, you know. But this is high shit tier, innit? Sorry. Runescale Stormbrood. Stop apologising, Steve. They don't mind. Webcore mind, but Webcore aren't listening to this. This is a 14 mana 2/4. This creature gets +2/0. Nope. When a non-token dragon creature enters the battlefield, this creature, nope. Chilling Screech, drain mana for 14 mana. Drain 6 mana from your opponent's hand. What? Christ. Sage of the Fang. Where have I seen that guy? Oh, he's on boosters, isn't he? I think he's on the super pack. When the creature enters the battlefield, target creature gets +1/+1. Restore 1. Target creature gets +2/+2. Rubbish. Sage of the Skies is 10 mana 2/3 lifelink. God, it feels like so long ago where I would have said... There was definitely a time where I would have said lifelink, always a relevant ability. No, not anymore. When this creature enters the battlefield, if the last card in your hand has full mana, reinforce this creature 2 times, otherwise gain 6 loyalty. I mean, no. I like gaining loyalty. I've started playing Quintorius Canned in Colours of Magic. I've had enough of playing Colours of Magic Fair. I really like playing, you know, control decks, as you know. I used to play Dakon all the time in Colours of Magic. Well, in fact, last rotation I was playing, who was I playing? Ashiok 1. Didn't mind playing somebody low power. And then post-rotation, you know, and Painful Quandary started getting everywhere. I decided I need to play somebody more powerful. Long-time followers of the channel will know that I hate using up deck slots on powerful planeswalkers, especially for an event I consider reasonably, you know, easy, like Colours of Magic. But Colours of Magic really isn't that easy anymore, you know. And now I even lost a game last time. Not this time it ran. I did okay because I was playing Quintorius Can. Last time I even lost a game with Dakon. So I've decided I've had enough of playing fair in Colours of Magic, and I'm just going to play unfair. I'm just going to play Quintorius Canned, just going to generate as much loyalty as I can. I'm going to gain life, and I'm going to win with his ultimate. And it works. And there are many ways of gaining loyalty with Quintorius Canned. You can play with lands. No Witnesses gains loyalty. Enduring Innocence gains loyalty. And this, you know, might be another card that gains loyalty. It's a shame it doesn't cost 11, because I'll tell you something. I've very, very easily filled up a Colours of Magic deck for Quintorius Canned with cards that cost 11 or less mana. Bit more difficult filling up with cards that cost 11 or more mana. Many less of those. I think I've solved the problem. I'm not going to go into it now. Sagu Pummeler. 9 mana 4/4 reach. Oh, okay. So it's going to die then. I mean, this is, you know, solid, like high-low shit tier, isn't it? You know, this is one of the best shitty commons you'd expect to do. You might see this in Origins, but no. Sagu Wilding. Now, I believe this on the other side, damn it. Doop. On the other side, it's got another one of those land fetching abilities, this time for 1 mana again. Zipper flagged this up for me, and I'm like, I don't see it. Yeah, rubbish, isn't it? Salt Road Pack Beast. When a non-token creature, this again is a 15 mana 4/3. I'll tell you something else that happened in 2017. Yeah, I was talking about Zulaport Cutthroat earlier. They actually went through, when they released the first expansion set, which I believe was Battle for Zendikar, they actually went through after a while because they printed so many of this type of card, 15 mana 4/3s, that were fucking shit. They actually went through and they buffed a bunch of them. They didn't make them good enough. Obviously, these cards were still commons and uncommons, and they felt they had to carry on making them shit. But they felt the urge to buff, I don't know, it was about, what, a dozen, 20 cards? In my memory, maybe a dozen cards. And that's what this kind of thing is reminding me. These fucking 19 mana 2/2s. And where have I gone? I've lost it again. Yes, and 15 mana 4/3s. Anyway, so I mean, Webcore might buff some of these cards that are so bad. Seems unlikely though, doesn't it? I mean, they're really on a treadmill now, trying to produce 6 sets a year, so we've just got to take what we're given. When a non-token creature you control, no, Steve. When a non-token creature enters a battlefield under your control, if this card is in your hand, it gains 2 mana. Oh, I see what they did there. Clive is doing his thing again, isn't he? He's got, oh, look, it's got synergy. You may think it costs 15 mana, Steve, but every time you play a creature, he gets a sweet, sweet 2 mana. When this creature enters a battlefield, draw a card. I mean, fuck off. Fuck off. Destroy target creature, create 2 Mardu Warrior tokens. Yeah, we kind of don't care, do we? Because the Mardu Warrior tokens die. And we still wouldn't care even if they didn't die. Let's face it. Because there's only 2 of them. When this creature enters a battlefield, endure 2. I mean, this is kind of mid shit tier. This isn't low shit tier, is it? Yeah, this is kind of a mid-low shit tier. Not mid shit tier. No. Mid-low shit tier. There is a land. Sarkhan Dragon Ascendant. When this card enters a battlefield, if you behold a dragon, now you can do that with a dragon in your hand, remember. So you could quite easily play this on turn 1, 7 mana, 2/2. I behold a dragon and I gain a gold token. Oh, well, that's not nearly interesting enough, is it? Gaining a gold token. When a dragon enters a battlefield under your control, this creature gets +1/+1. Then this creature gains flying and gains a dragon. So, I mean, honestly, probably, yeah, I'd rather have one of those 2 than Sarkhan Dragon Ascendant. Terrible rare, isn't it? Sarkhan's Resolve. Destroy an opposing creature with flying. If you can't, target creature you control gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Yeah, not interested. We've got Stratus Walk. I know it's not green, but oh no, hang on, it's not Stratus Walk, it's Plummet. Sorry, Stratus Walk is the thing that gives it flying in Origins, and Plummet is the thing. I used to think that was a combo. Yeah, give something flying and then destroy target creature with flying. Wow. You could play it with Days Undoing. That was the thing that made it good. Back when Days Undoing used to cost 6. Get a move on. Yeah, anyway. Steve's quick thing about the card to make it better, give it cycling. Only you wouldn't, would you? Because you still wouldn't play with it. You've got to do something. Make it the B-side of a card that, yeah, like a flip card, that's really, just make it a better card. There you go. That's how you make it a better card. You make it a better card. What have we got here? Oh, this is, I didn't recognise it from the silly artwork. This is the thing that was spoiled, wasn't it? War, discard the first card with mana in your hand. Without mana? With mana. Okay. I mean, not interesting. It's only a 12 mana 4/4. And then each non-dragon creature gets -4/-4, which is not enough, is it? So we move on. Seize Opportunity. Up to the first 2 creatures get +2/+1 if you can't draw 2 cards. Don't like it. Severance Priest. Yeah, I knew this was coming. Yeah, we had a severance thing before, and I was trying to think of a severance pun. I should have sat down and done some serious work about severance. Yeah, to come up with a pun, but nope, still haven't got anything. 13 mana 3/3. When this creature enters the battlefield, exile a random card from your opponent's hand. Not even in play. Even if it was in play, it would still be too expensive at 13 mana. When this creature dies, your opponent creates an Abzan Spirit token. Masterpiece! It's masterpiece time, everybody. Strap in. What is this? Oh, that's a shield counter. Do you know, I didn't recognise that. Shield counter. I know loot has it. I know there are creatures that straight up have shield counter. I just didn't recognise it. 16 mana 4/4. And this has shield counter. I have no idea if this is going to block things. Yeah, with vigilance and shield counter, I've got no idea. I don't really care, to be honest. Alignment blue. Create a copy. I see the words full mana at the end of the card, so we're going to be paying attention to this one. Create a copy of a random non-token card you control in play. Right. So alignment blue is when you cast a mono-coloured card. So already that's not great, but it's doable. Fairly doable. So you have cast a mono-coloured card. Then you create a copy of a random non-token card you control in play, which at the very least is going to be another copy of Shiko and Narset. Now that's not interesting if it is, because all you get then is an extra +4/+4 power and 1 extra shield token. So that's rubbish if you have to copy this. You're going to be wanting to copy something else. Then draw a card. Right, I'm confused. When it says create a copy of a random non-token card you control in play, is that copy created in play or is it created in your hand? I assumed it was in your hand. When you create a copy of something, unless it explicitly says it's going into play, it doesn't put it into play, does it? So what this is doing is this is copying something which goes into your hand and is not free, and then also drawing a card. And if it's not blue, it gains full mana. And why am I playing this and not Dragonhawk again? I don't know. There's literally no reason. When this creature enters a battlefield, exile the first... Well, no, right, hang on. There are reasons why you don't play Dragonhawk. Madren came up with some terminology this week, and I'm going to make it a thing. He said he doesn't play with fire hoses, and I love that terminology. The problem with Dragonhawk is it's a fire hose. You can't play it in a coalition event because you can't stop it killing your opponent, and you might need to actually fulfill your objectives, you know? So there is a reason why you would play this and not Dragonhawk. So I misspoke there, but, that doesn't apply to, like, loot. Yeah? What I mean is there are better cards than this, right? But I did misspeak there where I said the only better card than this is Dragonhawk. But it's still shit though. When this creature enters a battlefield, this 14 mana 4/5, exile the first non-spell card would cost 9 or less from your graveyard. Right, that is not Mystical Teachings, because that's a spell card. Then create a copy of that card in play under your control. I'm not excited. It's a free card. It's a free, pretty cheap card. I mean, literally the only thing that's leaping to mind at the moment is Swarmyard. But, other 9-cost permanents are available. I am aware of that. It's just that's the only one thing that's leaping into my head. So we're going to call this high shit tier. We're going to call this mid-high shit tier. Shot Brigade, right's another one of those common mobilized creatures. They shouldn't have bothered making any common mobilized creatures, should they? This is a 1/3 with reach. When another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, deal 2 damage to your opponent's planeswalker. It can trigger up to 3 times, right? You could have put mobilize on this. Yeah? Oh no, it's non-token creature. Well, fuck it, make it trigger off the token creatures. How about that? That would have been okay. It would be okay to do that. Give it mobilize 3, yeah? And every time one of those tokens comes into play, pap, 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 you've got a nice little beatdown thing going on there. Sipsig Appraiser. What is that? Oh, right, okay, he's facing me. He's turned to face me. Scary looking motherfucker. When this creature enters the battlefield, pick and fetch one of the first 2 cards of your library, then destroy all the other. We don't get any mana, and therefore we don't care. I lost my place. There it is. Sidisi, Regent of the Mire. This is a 14 mana 1/3. Okay, with activate 1. I mean, this is not priming me to get excited about what it does. Not even the word zombie snake warlock are getting me excited. Those are some pretty good words, let's face it. Lose a non-token creature reinforcement. Then fetch the next creature in your library that costs more than that creature. And place it on the battlefield if you can't reinforce this creature. Right, so it's a non-token. We're looking for what this is actually going to do in practice. First of all, we can't cheat it by putting a load of tokens in play because it's a non-token creature reinforcement. Fetch the first creature card in your library that costs more than that creature. Right, and you have to do that as well. Sorry, I'm having trouble parsing this card. You have to lose a token. It's not like you can just activate 1, not have a reinforcement in play, and then trigger the rest of it because it uses the word then. And as we all know, the word then is exactly the word if. Those 2 words are the same word. So we have to have this and a reinforcer. So the baseline is this reinforced. Yeah? Or alternatively, this and another creature that you've reinforced. It's not sounding likely, is it? Then fetch the next creature in your library that costs more than that creature. See, that's the exciting bit, isn't it? The next creature in your library that costs more than that creature. I mean, I suppose we've got a problem there. What I was thinking was that we could have this and then like a 5 mana creature, yeah? And then reinforce that 5 mana creature. Sounds nicer, doesn't it, reinforcing a 5 mana creature than this rubbish thing that costs 14 mana. But the problem if we do that, and we reinforce the 5 mana creature, and then we lose a reinforcement off the 5 mana creature, it's probably going to fetch another copy of this fucking shit piece of shit. So we got some lovely words there. Fetch the next creature in your library that costs more than that creature. I mean, it could cost 1,000,000 mana. It could be a Galta. It could be a massive thing. And place it on the battlefield. We love that as well. If you can't reinforce this creature. Ooh, okay. Right, fair enough. So it's activate 1. You see again, you see what Clive has done here. It's activate 1. If you hit activate 1 and this creature is not reinforced, then it reinforces. So then the next time you hit activate 1, that is, let me just repeat that for the hard of hearing at the back, activate 1 gem. The next time you do that, you've had to hit a single activate gem twice. That's when it gets out something bigger than this creature. I would have at least, oh, I mean, I wouldn't have made it activate 1, but I would have at least made it come into play reinforced, yeah? So at least you get one shot with it, hitting the activate gem, fetching something really massive. Who's that guy in There's a Golos, that colourless guy, yeah? And he costs 17 mana and he creates some activate gems and you pop an activate gem and 2 creatures just pop into play. Did anyone even play with him? I only play with him because he's colourless and I have this whole quest avoiding colourless thing that I like to do midweek sometimes. So yeah, pump it up to activate more than one. I don't know, it's not my job to design the cards, even though that's what I'm doing here. More than activate one, let it come into play with a reinforcement. There you go, that's how I fix that. But no, don't like it. And why would you? At the beginning of combat on your turn, you lose 4 life, then endure 2. Yeah. Yeah. Low high shit tier. Yeah. Look, it's getting bigger. I suppose it's putting a second... It's not getting bigger, is it? It's putting a second creature into play. Low high shit tier. High mid shit tier. Somewhere in the middle. Skirmish Rhino. What's this making me think of? There's a magic card. There's a paper magic card. It's a Rhino. It costs 4 mana for a 4 Siege Rhino. Oh my god, Siege Rhino. Siege Rhino is one of those cards that I didn't get. You know, it was hard to play because it was a 3-color card. It cost 4 mana, but 3 different colors, so it was kind of hard to play. And like, all it did, it was a 4/4 for 4, which was, you know, back then, slightly above the curve. And then you gained 4 life and your opponent took 4 damage. And that was kind of all the card did, and somehow turned out to be an absolute staple in different formats, certainly standard. I think maybe modern as well. And I kind of never got it. But this isn't it. This reminds me a lot of it. I'm pretty sure it's the same colours. This is called Skirmish Rhino, not Siege Rhino. But I'm sure it's the same colours, and it's a Rhino, and it does the coming to life, it's coming into the battlefield, loses 2 life, you gain 2 life thing. It does that. But, I mean, I definitely don't get this. That's terrible. Smile at Death. Is that... I want to say that's a Lesher. Well, I don't really know enough about the lore, really. At the beginning of your turn, return up to the first... Oh, we might be onto something with this. Return up to the first 2 creature cards, with power 2 or less, from your graveyard to the battlefield under your control. At the beginning of combat on your turn, your creatures get +1/+2. So, I mean, that's extraordinarily powerful effect. Every turn, you're resurrecting 2 different creatures, and you even get to pump them up a bit. The problem is, of course, that they are quite limited. Power 2 or less. I mean, I can think of 2 creatures with power 2 or less. Ocelot, Pride, and Wisp Drinker Vampire. They've got power 2 or less, haven't they? But, you know, I don't think you're putting that into your Ocelot Pride combo deck. You may as well just play Threats Undetected and get hold of them that way. You may as well draw them from your library, you know? I don't think people are putting this in their Ocelot Pride deck. But yeah, power on this card. The question just is, what are these creatures that you're putting into play and powering up? You know? I'm not saying there aren't 2 power creatures. Well, who do I play with? I mean, Overlord of the Flood Pits feels like a 2 power creature, but it is in fact a 6 power creature, so it's not going to get resurrected by this. Marvo will get resurrected by this, but do I care? I don't know. There's power in this card. I don't know if it's usable. Enjoy. Timmy's and Johnny's alike, enjoy. And if you do a good enough thing with it, us Spikes will sit up and take notice. But have a play with it, see what you think. It's certainly interesting. It's better than interesting. Interesting is a thing that British people say when they mean shit. It's better than interesting. Snowmelt Stag. Activate 1 blue. Creature is unblockable. Beginning of combat on your turn, this creature power and toughness becomes 5/2. Whatevs. Songcrafter Mage. When this creature enters the battlefield, return the first spell card from your graveyard to your hand. That card gains 10 mana. So, you know, once again, I'm thinking Mystical Teachings only cost 9 mana. That would fill it up. The thing is there though that you know, it's picking out. You'd have to only play with 9 mana, 10 mana or less spells if you wanted to immediately cast things. Mystical Teachings doesn't really lend itself to that. I mean, I guess if you're going after this expressive iteration thing, yeah, that might be a good spell to fetch with this. We're going to put it above high shit tier. Again, I feel like I'm just being kind to it, making it mid. But I can hear Goz. I can hear my internal Goz jumping up and down going, oh my God, this is broken. You can play it with expressive iteration. And who knows? You know, maybe he is even going to have fun doing that. I don't really feel like putting it much higher than shit tier. If at all higher than shit tier. But I think maybe some people will. But no. Sonic Shrieker. When this creature enters the battlefield, deal 2 damage to any target. Your opponent discards a card, gain 2 life. Yeah, you know, as usual, it's because it's a 3-color card, it has to be absolute dog shit. Because it's a card that's going to remind me personally of how good these cards used to be, 3-color cards in Streets of New Capenna. It has to be absolute dog shit. It's the point of this set, isn't it? I was saying earlier that the point of this set was to, like, you know, intrigue me with design, interesting design on bad cards. I figured it out now. That's not what it... That's a part of it. That's a part of what they're doing. What they're actually trying to do is crush my soul. Me personally. You know, all these years of snubbing me with the preview cards of the set. Yeah? And now they've finally decided to take it up a notch and just crush my spirit by making Sonic Shrieker. Oh, dear me. Right, I think that's it for tonight. The reason why it's it for tonight, I know it's probably a little shorter than we might have expected, but I did some maths earlier on. We had 140 cards to go through. We've just gone through 70 cards. And I don't fancy doing the entire set tonight. I don't fancy having a tiny, tiny short part 4. So that is it for tonight. Thank you everyone for being with me. The set continues to be bollocks, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure we're going to see... I know Will of the Teamers coming up, you know. I'm pretty sure there's at least another card that might be interesting that's coming up. But, yeah. Don't like it. Do not like this set. I am not planning to buy anything, really. I'd probably get hold of Will of the Teamer. We'll get to that when we get to that, but have a look at it. Oh, did you notice there are 2 different elite packs for Dragonstorm in the shop today? Normally they just forget to put any in at all, don't they? But today they've decided to put 2 different ones in. Unfortunately, it's not the one with this card that I've just been talking about, Will of the Teamer in it. But 2 different elite packs in there. Enjoy it while you can, because when they forget about it, they're just going to completely forget about it. We will do part 4. I don't know. You know, it certainly won't be tomorrow. It may not even be the end of the week. You know, I'm having these problems with my sharpie tooth at the moment. So that's why it's taken so long to do part 3. It may even take me a week to do part 4, for which I apologise. But that might just be the way of things, unfortunately, until I can get this sorted out, which is proving difficult. Thanks everyone for being in, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye!